In this video, you will learn how to concat 3 or more data frame in Pandas. There are two ways in which we can concat. One is row wise and the second is column wise. We will understand this with an example. Let us import Pandas as PD. I'm going to read 3 data frame and save in 3 different objects. The first one I will save in df1. I'll write here df1 pd.read_csv, and inside this it will be sample1.csv, and let's see sample1. This is just sample. I have to write here sample1.csv and df1.head, and here in the output you can see this is our first data frame, and then we will read the second one. I'll just copy it from here, I'll paste it here, and then instead of 1 I will write it here 2, and this will be sample 2 instead of 1, and then df2.head. Now here in the output you will see we have this second data frame, and then I'll read the last one. I'll copy this from here, paste it here, and then I'll make it 3, and here also I'll make it 3, and let me execute the code df3.head. Now here in the output you will see we have got this 3 data frame, and what are the similarities in this 3 data frame is that we have same number of columns, that is 5, 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5 in this first one. In the second one also we have 5, 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5, and in third one also we have same number of columns, 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. And the second thing is that we also have this same column name. So if you compare the data frame 1, it has same column name, status, units, magnitude, subject, series, title 3. Here also we have the same column name, status, units, magnitude, subject, series, title 3, and here also we have status, units, magnitude, subjects and series underscore title 3. And these are the basic requirements before we concatenate 3 or more data frames. And if you don't have the common column names, that in that case also we can concatenate, but then in that case you will find the null values. So now we have seen that there are two common things among all this data frame. The first one is the number of column, which is 5, and the column names, they are same. And now let us also check their shape. So we have the shape of this one is 405. It is important to check the shape, and that is why I am checking. Then for this we have df2.shape 160, and then the third one, if I check the shape, it is df3.shape. We have 494, and total we have 494 rows for this one. Then here we have 160 rows plus 160, and then we have 405. So you need to understand all the basics before you concatenate, plus 405. Now you will see here in the output, so everyone has this same shape, which is 5 because we have 5 columns. So here also we have 5 because we have 5 columns, and then here also we have 5 because we have 5 columns. And the addition of these 494, 160 and 405 is 1059, not 459, sorry, 1059. Now when we will concatenate these 3 data frames on the basis of row, then we will get a new data frame whose size will be 1059. So in that data frame we will have total 1059 rows, and that is why I have done this calculation before, so that you will understand better when we will do that concatenation. Now to do that we just have to call the method concat from this pandas. I'll make one new object. Let's say I will call it that row underscore concat, and then I will call pd.concat, which is the function to concatenate these 3 data frames. And then inside this I'll pass a list, and in the list I will pass this data frame, which is df1, df2 and df3. Now let us execute our code. Now let us check the shape of this row underscore concat data frame, and it should be 1059 because we are adding these 3 data frames. And what we are doing with the help of this concatenation is we are adding the data frame one below the other. So we have this first one. Now the second one will be added next to this row number 405, which is 406. Then we will have the addition of 1 and 2. Then the third one will be added to this existing data frame, which is the addition of first and second. So we are placing this data frame one below the other, and that is why it is known as row concatenation. Now if I check the shape, I should get the same one, which is 1059. So here in the output you can see I got 1059 and the total number of columns are 5, so that will remain same. Now if I do the head, row concat dot head, so I have this new data frame whose columns are same and the rows are different. The rows are the total of all these three data frames, because we have concatenated these three data frames one below the other. And I'll show you one more thing. If I just print this row underscore concat, and here you will see in the output, so we have got all the results here, and some of them are not showing because of this settings. Now one thing you will notice that it is starting from 0, but the last row, which is is 493, which is the index number is incorrect. So this data frame is correct, but this is the index number. So what we are saying here is 0 1 2 3 4 is nothing but the index number, and there is a problem with the index number, because if the first index number is 0, then the last one should be 1059, and to correct that we have to just pass one parameter. So when we are concatenating this, so we can pass one parameter inside this function. So if I go here and then I will put a comma here, and then I will pass the parameter which is ignore underscore index, and this is going to be true. Now I'll do one thing. I'll copy this from here, I'll paste it here, and I'll show you here so that we can compare. Now if I write it here this, and now if I print row underscore concat, now let us compare. So here you will see that now we have got this correct output, the correct index number. The output was correct earlier also. Now the index number are correct, so it is starting with 0 1 2 3 4, and the last one is 1058, because 1059 is the last value, that is why the index number is 1058. So here you can see that now we got the correct index. Earlier we were getting here 493. To make your index proper, you have to pass this parameter, which is ignore underscore index is true. So we have seen how to concat three data frame one below other using row. Now we can also concat these three data frames next to each other by passing a parameter axis is equal to 1, and that 1 will stands for column. So now we have done this row wise. Now we will do it column wise. So instead of having this 1059 rows, we will have only one data frame, and the maximum row will be you will see here. So for these three data frame, this third data frame is having the maximum number of rows, which is 494. Then the second one is having 160, and the third one is 405. Now when you do the concatenation column wise, you will get a single data frame, and the rows will be the maximum rows in any of the given data frame. And out of these three data frame, the third data frame df3 is having the maximum row, which is 494. So in our output we will get a new data frame where we will have the maximum rows as 494, and the columns will be repeated now. So instead of 5 columns we will have 15. And why? Because 5 for this df1, then 5 for this df2, and then 5 for this df3. Total will be 15. Now let's see how that can be happen, or how we can make that. Now I'll make one new variable, which is column underscore concat, and then I will call pd.concat, and then I'll pass a list df1, df2, df3, and now here I will pass this parameter axis is equal to 1. 1 stands for columns. So we are saying that we want to do the concatenation but column wise, and if we don't pass this access is equal to 1, then by default access is equal to 0, which is row wise, and that is why here we did not pass this parameter access is equal to 0, because by default it is access is equal to 0. Now if I do this, if I execute the code, and now if I do the head, let me first do the shape. So the shape should be 494. Here you will see 494, because this data frame has highest number of rows, and the number of columns should be 15. Now let us see whether we are getting that or not. I'll execute this. So here you can see the shape is 494 by 15, because the third data frame has the maximum number of rows 494, and 15 because it is repeating the columns. Now let us check the head, column underscore concat dot head. Here in the output you will see we got this data frame here, and we have all the values here, and the column names are repeating. We have this subject, series title 3, status, units, magnitude, then again subject, series title 3, status, units, magnitude, and so on. But you will notice that since this last data frame is having 494 rows, and this one is having 160, which is less than the third one, and this is also 405, which is less than the third one. So in most of the places we will find the nan values or the null values, because there we will not have the matching, there we will not have any samples, because the data frame is small. So there we will find a nan, and in this head function we are not seeing that, because these top 5 are having in all the 3 data frame we are having some values in all this top 5 rows. But if I do the df.tail, so here you will see which not df, it is column underscore concat. Now here you will see, so from here status to series title 1, this is the first data frame, then status to title 3, this is the second data frame, and then here status to title 3, this will be the third data frame. And as I have said that in the third data frame we are having 494 rows, that is why here we are getting the values. And for the first and second, where we have just 404 rows and 160 rows, we are getting the null values, because there are no values present. But because we are doing this concatenation column wise, we will get the nan values here. I hope you are clear with this idea why we are getting the nan here. As you see here that we are having the same column names. Now to get rid of the same column names, because they are same and we don't want to use the same column names, then we can use one parameter which is ignore underscore index. So instead of getting the column names, we will get the column numbers. Now I'll copy this from here and I'll paste it here. Inside this I will pass one more parameter which is ignore underscore index, and I'll set it as true. Now if I do column underscore concat dot head, now instead of getting this column names, we will get the column numbers. Here in the output you can see, now we are not getting the column names, but we are getting the column numbers 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, etc. And why we are doing this is, there are two ways. Either you can rename these columns, you can type df1 underscore subject, df1 underscore series title 3, df2 underscore status, to identify that this column is from data frame 1, this column is from data frame 2, this column is from data frame 3. Now if you are not able to rename, or because there are many columns you cannot rename them, then instead of you renaming them, you can use this column number. Then you will have this column number instead of the column name. It will be easier for you to get the values from each of these columns, and that is the reason why we can use this parameter in ignore underscore index is equal to true, to identify that this 0 is from data frame 1, or 5 is from data frame 2, or the 13 is from data frame 3, and so on. This is how you can do the concatenations in pandas. If you have 3 or more data frame, then only you should use this concat. Otherwise there are other methods which is append. So instead of using this concat, you can use the append method if you have two data frame. But if you have more than two data frame and you want to do the appending, then you have to use this method concat. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you like my video, you can subscribe to my channel. Thank you for watching.